call a meeting
Never
to
mind.
order.
I'll look.
Today is the 8th of August, 2023, 18:30 or 6:30 p.m. We are about to start our regular board meeting for Crete 201U School District. Madam Secretary, can I have a roll call, please?
Sure. Mr. Albrecht.
Here.
Mr. Gallegos.
Here.
Roop is here. Mr. Sawalish.
Here.
Ms. Seitz Stumbris. Here. Dr. Hall.
Here.
President Brown.
Here. Can I ask that we stand and recite the pledge led by Board Member Alex Gallegos, and followed by our mission statement being read by Dr. Hall.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The mission statement. Our mission statement is to empower each student to positively impact the world for a bright new future.
Thank you, Dr. Hall. We do have a few public comments here. And the first one we have is presenting the Board of Education members' gifts from the Warrior Booster Club. I like that to say that again, presenting the Board of Education members' gifts. Oh, you're more than welcome to come up and speak.
Hello. I'm Carol Millsap. I'm president of the Booster Club in the high school. Happy almost a new school year. I hope it's a great one. I'm here with Sue Giantonio. She's our treasurer. Member Jim, and our vice president Teresa, and our super fan over here, Jerry, who's sitting down there with the pink hat, and Geraldine here, our super students here. Student body president. So just a couple of things. We wanted to present each of you a jacket from the Crete Warriors Booster Club. It says, Crete Monee School District 201U board member with your first and last name on the back. If something's wrong with the sizing, just let us know. We'll take care of that. But we'll pass these around to you, and we hope that you enjoy them. Come visit us at the football games. That will be there with the new Spirit Wear this year. And we also wanted to let you know that there was like 130 pictures in the old dome. And so we've taken all of those pictures, all the athletes from years past, and we now have them on a zip drive. So we'll be presenting that to the Alumni Association so that they have that. But that was a long project that we wanted to get done for years and years, so that is now finally done. So again, we just thank you for all of your support, and we hope to see you in the school year at many events. Anything else? Okay.
Sounds good. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Wow. Any comments from the board?
I thank you all for your support and all that you do for Crete Monee and all of the kids. I mean, I know that now that we're spreading out our athletics with the middle school, hopefully that'll be a bigger support for the high school as well. But thank you all so much.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, Carol, and your whole team, the Booster Club. This is very noble, very honorable, these gifts. I recall getting it was like a hoodie, a sweat hoodie, and I wear it proudly. So this just compliment what I have already that you guys mustered up and came up with the funds to do this. So it's really appreciative. Thank you so much. All right. Okay. Next up on public comments, we have Ms. Bridget Simmons regarding students, athlete, and acknowledgement.
Okay, thank you. Hello, my name is Bridget Simmons Franklin, and I grew up here in this school district, and I'm raising my children here, and my children attend this school district. So hello, some of your faces are very familiar, some of them are not, so I wanted to say hello. May 28th of 2022, our boys won the 4x2 meter relay at the IHSA championship down in Charleston at Eastern University of Illinois. On June 7th of 2022, I received an email, well, the boys received an email along with their parents from a then Mr. Tobias, I believe he was the athletic director at the time, congratulating the boys and also saying that the boys needed to be fitted for their rings. And then he also went on to tell us that in the future the boys will be given their certain acknowledgments. This year on April 27th, I then emailed the current athletic director to let him know that the boys have not received their rings, nor did they receive any acknowledgments for winning the state championship down in Charleston. He responded to me and said that he just received information that the rings were just they were just finished and that he would get in contact with us to let us know when the boys will be receiving them. This past July, I received a text message from somebody who was here in the school, basically showing me the banner that was raised over in the gymnasium over here at the high school. I'm letting you all know that the boys never received any acknowledgement from the school district that they won the state championship. They never received their rings. They never was given a banner. They were not celebrated in front of their peers, nor were they acknowledged in front of their families, and I really believe that you all robbed them of that opportunity. Not only of that, you robbed the families of that opportunity as well. I am very proud to say that all 4 of those boys, they are gone off to college now. And we are extremely proud of them. We are extremely proud of their accomplishments here in high school and the things that they're doing now in college. Unfortunately, this is something that they will always remember, that they were never acknowledged for the good things that they did here in this school district. My son and one of the other boys on the team, all 4 of the boys was also on the football team. None of the boys ever received any varsity letters from being on a varsity football team. My son played on the varsity team for 4 years. He never received any varsity letters. So therefore, my son is not able to get a varsity jacket because he never received any letters. He never received a certificate. He never received a medal. He never received any accolades from the school district. Last year, my son was the quarterback, and he took the team all the way down to the semifinals. And once it was over, it was over. No banquet, no pictures, no round of applause, no nothing. So I just want to let you all know that parents know the value of our children, and we're going to celebrate our children no matter what. But it would be very nice if the school district would also do that as well. I do believe that this entire school district dropped the ball on our kids doing this. Those kids are student athletes, and they work extremely hard for the school district. As soon as they do something wrong, you guys are quick to kick them out of school. You're quick to punish them. You're quick to, make them feel as if they made the biggest mistake in the world. But as soon as they do something good, especially when they make you all look good, they're not being acknowledged. And that's very heartbreaking as a parent and as somebody here as well. My name is on the wall at the high school. I was a student athlete here, so I know what it takes to be a student athlete. I know what it takes to be a state champion. And even then, we was acknowledged back in '98 when I did it. So I just want to let you know that it was very disrespectful. Because when these kids go out there and they give their all, the coaches are the ones that get all the praise. They're the ones that get promotions at work. They're the ones that get the raises. The kids didn't get anything. Absolutely nothing. My son played varsity football here for 4 years. He didn't even get varsity letters. He didn't get anything. And then he did something amazing where all 4 of them went to the state championship, and they won with the Warriors across their chest. And we even acknowledged them in University Park. All 4 of them are from University Park. We acknowledged all of them in University Park and at the board meeting there. But it would have just been nice if the school district would have just acknowledged them in some form or fashion. But like I said, just an update on them. They're all doing very well. They're all in college. And I'm very proud of them. But just moving forward, I really hope that you all take the time to acknowledge these student athletes because they're making this entire school district look really, really good. And instead of just acknowledging the coaches and promoting them, it would be nice if you all, gave a little bit of that effort towards the kids that's making you all look good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Dr. Coughlin, is you going to have a respond for her? I will. Okay, and appreciate it. Bridget, I know you as my daughter, so my second, third, fourth daughter. And you and your husband and many others have put so much into having our athlete perform at the level that they have. And we're going to try to make it right. We're going to try to do the best we could to make this thing right. I know we can't 100% make it right given what occurred, but we're going to try to put measures in place to prevent this from happening again. So really appreciate you coming to the board and sharing that with us. So thank you so much. All righty. We do have one more board comment. Pretty lengthy, to say the least, that I have to read here. All right. What's that last name? Who's this from? No. Olier. Oler. Okay, this is from Miss Mary Oler, and it reads, Dear Crete Monee School District Board members and Dr. Coughlin. It's dated August 7, 2023. Welcome back to another school year. I have a few questions and concerns regarding the approval of guest rates for the 2023-2024 school year. To my surprise, when I saw the committee of the whole agenda, it mentioned pay increases for guest teachers, food service, custodians, secretaries, and student workers. Where was the increase for guest paraprofessionals? I quickly emailed Dr. Eric, I'll call him M, when I noticed this in hopes that it was a mistake, but it wasn't. I then responded back to him in regards to if he knew anything about me signing a letter of intent to return with a pay increase for the 2023-2024 school year. It actually have 2034 here, but the intent, I believe, is 2024 school year. But he did not. He told me he would look into it, and I applaud him for doing so and getting back to me today, 8/7/2023, with an answer informing me that I was never supposed to receive that letter because I was miscategorized in the staff information system. But why was this not caught back in May when I signed this? In that letter that was sent to me from Dr. Gail Whalen, Interim Assistant Superintendent of Personnel and Culture, it stated that my primary assignment for 2023-2024 school year would be substitute, teacher, assistant, and on that it stated that my rate was $91, and that for the upcoming school year my pay will increase to 65 cents per hour per start of the school year. I signed this document on May 15, 2023. Now let's rewind back to August 2022 when I questioned guest paraprofessional rates to Harrison, Lyle, or quote, Neil, who at the time was our assistant superintendent for personnel and culture. At the August board meeting in 2022, I asked Lyle why guest teachers, assistants, paraprofessionals didn't get the 5% raise that the board approved. And his response to that was, the guest rates for teachers' assistants were based upon a market analysis rather than a percentage increase. Last year, the increase went from $69 to $88. or a 27.5% increase based on the same market analysis. This will be performed annually to ensure we remain competitive with neighboring districts. As I sit here, I have reached out to neighboring districts in the past week questioning what their sub-guest paraprofessional rates are, and this is what I have found. Bulletized Piantone, $110 a day. Beecher, $95 a day, whether you are a sub-teacher or paraprofessional. New Lenox, $122 and $15 an hour based on 6.75-hour days. $101.25 a day. Stager, $15 an hour based on a 6.5 or 6.5-hour day. $97.50 a day. Frankfurt, 100, I believe that's School District 157-C Charlie. That's Frankfurt 157-C Charlie. $110 a day. Park Forest / Chicago Heights, District 163, $15 an hour based on a 7-hour day, $105 a day. Mokina District 159, $110 a day. Matson School District 162, $65 a day. Kankakee School District 111, $13 an hour based on 7 hours a day, $91 an hour a day. So my only question is, why do the guest sub-paraprofessionals at Crete Monee School District 201U not deserve a pay raise like everyone else? As a guest paraprofessional who sub 117 days out of the 180 school days during the 2022-2023 school year, I believe I deserve a raise, and the other guest paraprofessionals in the Crete Monee School District 201U district, don't we matter to the U? ? Thank you for taking the time to read my letter, and I look forward to your response. Thank you, Mary Oler. Okay, that concludes all of our public comments. And moving on, do we have any board updates?
I want to say something. I know we generally don't respond to public comments, but Ms. Simmons' public comment in regards to athletics, everybody knows that that's something I'm passionate about. It's very disturbing to hear what she said, because that's why we lose so many student athletes out of the district, because of lack of recognition or poor facilities, or it's a number of reasons, but they all center around the same thing. We put a lot of emphasis in life on adults and not enough emphasis on children. I know being in this district, my son, he broke a couple of records for wrestling. His name is only up there for one. I had a similar experience with trying to get that rectified. Now, some people will say, well, why is it such a big deal? It's only this or it's only that. They earned it. They should get recognized for it. The school gets recognition. Crete Monee is not known for academics. Most of the people that know about it is because of the athletes that do these things. And we have to do a better job of recognizing these athletes. And academics as well, I definitely agree. I don't take away from that, but we have to do a better job of recognizing our students, period. we regardless, and I know we put some things in place. I want to tell everybody that Dr. Cognice has done a great job of putting things in place with the district AD and the AD at the middle school, and hopefully these things won't fall and they'll work better with the booster club, because then I learned that if they don't give the information to the boosters, then the stuff won't get posted because they don't always know those things. So it's working hand in hand, but it's sad that we had to go through that. I'm really looking forward to the new system, the new setup, but for us not to recognize, and these aren't just placers or somebody who made it to state, they actually won state. And if it was so easy to win state, schools like Mount Carmel and St. they would win it all the time because they can go pick the best of the best. That's what makes it so difficult. And I just had to say that because we have to do a better job of recognizing our students, our student athletes. Like the young lady said, kids get 4 years to coaches, and a lot of times they don't get anything out of it. I mean, they might get, I don't know, some get scholarships, but most of them don't. So it's just very disappointing.
And we will take care of that.
I agree. I remember the year, was it 2019 when the whole track team took state? And I know you were in the parking lot, just how exciting that was with all the
Yeah,
the
very exciting.
fire alarms and everything. And I think we just need to do that all the time.
Yes.
So I agree. Well said.
Yes, yes. Definitely, we have the opportunity to get better, and we will. We will.
Absolutely.
Thank you for your passionate comment, Dr. Hall. Any other board updates?
I'll mention that Mr. Brown and I went to that leadership conference on Thursday, and it was very good. It was good. I think the word, if you had to take any word that came out of it, do you know what the word would be?
I got two.
I know, you got two. Yeah, I mean, there were a lot of good nuggets, but I think trust. I think
Yeah,
almost every
they
speaker
zoomed in
mentioned
on that.
trust, and you're not going to be any type of leader if you don't build that trust, and that was just throughout the whole meeting. So thanks for inviting us, and it was good.
Yes, very good. And, you know, it was an eye-opening for me on some things, just me being in this position that it's about you guys here. It's not about me. And I need to, you know, definitely take step backs and whatever I can do to keep you guys as a team, and I need to do that. So it should never be about the board president up here and all what he or she can do. It's about me leading the way through you guys, through you. We all are leaders here, all of us here, and to get our objectives and our goals filtered down to our one person that we hire to lead this district, and that's Dr. Coglany. So definitely help me. I need you, and I would do that, whatever I could to continue to be one of 7 leaders here, one of 7 leaders here. So very good, very, very good session. Very good leaders, very good talkers. A couple CEOs spoke. Dr. Condoleezza Rice, yeah, the former Secretary of State, she spoke live. So very good.
Well, thank you to Cheryl and Maurice for representing the board there,
Thank you.
taking the time.
Yeah, I didn't think I was going to make it, but I drug myself in there just coming back from Tucson, Arizona, and wasn't feeling well at all. But Cheryl and I, we stood in there, and she encouraged me, saying, "Bo, hang in there, hang in there." And it was a good outing. All right, any other public updates? Dr. Coglin, I think I mentioned at the last board meeting last week about I attended that webinar on a SOUP eval electronically. If you can look into that, Lori Grant, who used to be our rep, right? If you can ask, she said the PowerPoint presentation was available, and I thought it was an opportunity for us the next time around doing this superintendent eval, that we use this electronic, at least give it a shot, look at it. I think it's like $300 and some odd to give us a one-time training to see if we want to involve ourselves with this new process. And then if we do, it's like $1,800 a year. But, you know, I think it's well worth it. It's an electronic version, and not only can the board use it to evaluate our superintendent, but the superintendent could use it to evaluate your administrators. Okay, so it's a great opportunity. But look into it and see if you can get something from Lori on that, okay?
Okay, I will.
That was I thought it was a great tool to use electronically. Everybody's trying to get rid of the paper stuff here. Okay, no further board updates.
I wanted to ask about Support Day. That's coming up, right? That's on the 12th. What time is that going to start?
So volunteers will get there at 8 o'clock. Is that correct, Mr. Surma? Yeah, 8 o'clock.
8
It
o'clock.
starts at 9.
Starts at 9. Okay. I got a invitation for a quinceañera, but that's in the evening. So I will be able to
Oh,
make
wonderful.
it to the
We'll
support
put
day.
you to work.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
I'm coming as well, and I recruited my husband. He
All
likes to
right,
come.
good. I had somebody online was asking about supplies, and I just said there's support day, ELC. I'll get back to you on the time. So I just wanted to confirm the time that I should tell them.
Yeah, it runs 9 to 11.
9 to 11. Okay.
Great. Well,
But be here early. Got it.
Yeah.
For us.
It's going to be here?
yes, it's where it was last year. Easy access. We've got the nice big parking lot here. So
Okay.
It's a drive-through, right?
yes,
All right, also on the same day, if your friend asks, the township, right? The township is having something in the township parking lot on Wood.
Crete Township?
Crete Township, yeah.
They're-
Yeah, I'm sorry, Crete
Youth-
Township,
youth
yeah, and that's
services.
at 10, I want to say.
On Wood Street?
Yeah, it's the township building on Wood. Yeah, just a little off of
Like
Exchange.
school supplies and stuff?
Yes.
Okay. Very good.
Doc, do you mind just capturing a couple of these dates for us and just kind of sending it out these couple days here you're talking about? I think we got University Park.
to send it to the board.
Yeah, send it to the board. You know, you're really good at that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Every week I put it in my newsletter.
Don't
Yes,
put it so-
but I'll
yeah,
put it
we'll
in a special email out to capture that.
Capture,
That was
yeah.
actually one of my updates today,
Okay,
too.
okay, well, you can update it then.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All righty, so, all right, there's
So-
no further board updates? You done, Alex?
Mhm.
Done? Okay, last call. If not, I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Coglanese with administrative updates.
Yeah, I just had 3. I was going to talk about the support day, so thank you, Mr. Gallegos. The University Park Parade is August 19th. That's the following Saturdays. So I need to make sure that we have a head count. We have candy and so forth. So if you could email Cheryl and just let us know how many are going to be coming. Again, we'll have our JRTC will be there. Our therapy dogs will be part of that as well. So
Yeah,
we're
what time do they start, do you know?
we're waiting to get some, I think, confirmation
Okay.
with all the logistics, but we'll get that out to you.
Okay, we had a big delay in starting time last time.
We did.
Yeah,
And it was raining, so this year
It
we hope for
was.
better weather.
so that's the 19th there.
I have it in my calendar as 10 a.m. So
10,
I'm thinking maybe 10.
meeting at Craig's Park, I believe, okay.
Yeah, so we'll talk about it because I think last time we kind of met as a group because of parking and cars. So I'll get some more logistics out for you, but then you'll be carrying candy, so where you're comfortable walking.
Yeah, I'm not sure, we got to figure out, because Nelson led the way with his vehicle, I believe.
Yeah, but
He was-
I wasn't there last. I think, didn't you get one of the
We got the van,
school
van,
bus?
yeah.
The school bus.
so we need to make sure that we
And I'm
get
gonna
that
be-
again.
I'm gonna,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be out of town again this year.
Right, we even met here, if you wanted to park here
And
and not
drove
have
over
to
there?
drive there, yeah.
Yeah.
So that was very nice, and I
was
will be
handy.
there. But I'll email Cheryl, but I will be there.
Okay.
And I had a truck, so we could put
Great.
candy in the back. and-
The other update, I was just going to alert the community, our community newsletter is out. We got copies, we have it for you today as well. These will be hitting the mailboxes in the next few days, so make sure that you look for that. And the other thing we wanted to highlight, and this is, thanks for Mr. Brown, this is the ELC handbook, well, for preschoolers. So we want to get the information out to community about helping their little ones. We are going to be putting these out in all the libraries. We're going to be sending them to the village halls. We want to have these as pass-arounds for people. I think we've ordered, a good couple hundred, so people can pass these around. Again, we want to make sure that our little ones are ready for school when they come as kindergartners. This week we have done kindergarten screenings for our little ones, and that has been received very well. We thank our staff for taking the time to do that. It helps to better prepare them for their conversations with the classroom teachers. Teacher can better know their students before they come in, and then they're going to be using that time to talk with families on those first 2 days of school. So we're really stepping up with that relationship piece and connecting with our families. So please pass these out to people that you know.
Really, really well. Go ahead.
I spoke to someone, I spoke to a parent, I believe it was Saturday, about the screening thing, And she said there was like it was very short notice when the screening happened. And she asked if we could maybe give it a little more prep time.
Well, I'll tell you what, it was short notice because of the time of when we made the decision to do that. Next year, we are going to have it based with registration back in April or June.
Okay.
So yes, we know that.
Okay.
Yeah, we wanted to get something out this year. I know we was trying to pack things in a small package here, but I do commend Dr. Coglin-Nice and Assistant Superintendent Ms. Perkins there, that this is really commendable too, getting this out. So and it's duly noted, Alex. Yeah, it was like, hey, it's something that's better than nothing, and I look forward to next year and the years coming after.
And this will
that.
be part of our registration process moving forward. And I think, again, it just better prepares us and gets us out there in the community talking with families.
Thank
So
you.
thanks everyone's help.
Excellent.
Ms. Chester,
And where,
helped
can,
with
where
the-
can we pick up a few more of these from?
our office here.
Okay.
We've got a big stack of them, but like I said, they'll be out in our local
Libraries and
areas. And if
stuff
you
like
know of
that.
any local areas that you could drop some off at, please
Yeah.
feel free to do that.
Okay. Excellent.
And that is all I have.
I saw Ken, you had, I know you're going to talk about the life safety, but you had something regarding a tour of the buildings. You reached out to the board members on that, right?
Oh, yes, thank you
Yeah.
for.
I do, I can talk a little bit about that while we're getting queued
Okay.
up here.
Okay.
So tomorrow, we are having walkthroughs of the buildings, those under construction. We're going to start at Talala tomorrow morning at 7:30 in the morning. We allocated about a half hour for each building just to kind of walk through and see where they're at and all of that. They are in pretty good shape. So we're going to go Talala, CSK, Crete Monee, I think, is what we're doing. I think those are the ones we're doing tomorrow, okay? So we'll start at 7:30 in the morning at Talala, and then we'll move to CSK, then to Crete, then Balmoral. The board is more than welcome to join us on any of those. We do have our executive team going around along with B&G and along with our union reps too. So we'll be having kind of a contingency, just kind of going around and seeing how those are, okay?
Okay.
So we're in pretty good shape though with those, so happy to report. I'm actually going to talk about three things tonight. One is the life safety projects, and then the other question that came up was about a kind of a financial summary of the short-term facility plan we had talked about. I'm going to give you an idea where we're at. The other thing that came up, I think at one of the board meetings I was not at in July, was cybersecurity. So we're going to touch on that. Eric's here tonight. I've asked him to be here to touch on a couple things. So you can just kind of sit back for the next 2 hours as I go through this, and we'll be good. So let me start with the life safety. So this is kind of an overview of the 10-year life safety survey. Every 10 years, each Board of Education is required to survey its school buildings and effectuate any recommendations in accordance with 2-3.12, the Health Life Safety Code, and with the guidance of this chapter. School building or school means a building occupied in whole or in part by public school students or intended for occupancy by such students. So again, what this says is that every 10 years we need to have someone come in. And it has to be a third party. They have to be licensed to do that. We normally get our architect to do that, who is licensed for that. And what they really do on this is they come in and check to see if the buildings are up to the current codes. And that's what happens every 10 years, just to make sure of that and make sure things are safe. There are some things that are life safety things. There are some things that are not. And I'm going to give you a perfect example of this. Heating and air conditioning. Heating is required in the school. Air conditioning is not. So that's why on life safety surveys you won't see that the school needs air conditioning, because it's not required. But if it needs a new boiler, that will be in there. So those are just some things to kind of give you an idea. This is a chart. Oh, and let me say this too. I have posted this to Board Book, so for the public, it is in Board Book. Board, if you do want a copy of this, we have I had some last minute financial things on this, so I didn't get you a copy. But if you want a copy of this, I can get that out to you. Okay. So this chart I put together because I think it's really important, because the question comes up is, when is our next life safety survey? So I've worked with our architect and also with the Illinois State Board of Education on this. So let me explain this. I listed all of our current facilities. These are when the actual survey was completed. So it was completed by our architect. Let's just take Balmoral. It was completed in 2012. That's when the survey was completed. The ISB survey year is 2014. That is when the Board of Education at that time approved the survey, and it was submitted to ISB. So what that means, that starts your 10-year clock. And so the next 10 years life safety survey isn't until 2024. All right? So that's why I've just kind of put all three of these dates so that you see this. But again, our main two columns are these two, which is when it was submitted to ISB, approved by ISB, approved by the board, and then this is when the next 10-year survey is. So for most of our facilities, you'll see the next one is in 24, and I've got a recommendation of that I'll talk about at the end. And then for Monee Elementary and the high school, it's 29. Okay? Now I'm going to get into, and I made this chart, and I kept it really high level just so you can see. This is Balmoral. So you're going to see a little pie chart I have here of the percentage completed of all the life safety projects. And I've also put on this side the ones that have to be completed yet. So you'll see 8 out of 11 have been completed at Balmoral, 73%. 3 are left to be done, and these are the 3. And I'm not going to go into detail of all of these, but I just want to show you how this is kind of laid out. And then I've also put a date in here when I think we're going to have these completed, all right, as we go through our cycle here. So you're going to see here at Balmoral, we have to replace some exterior doors, frames, and hardware to provide unobstructed, easily operable exit exterior exits. We won't be able to complete that next year because we can't do that while kids are in school. So that'll be done in 24, summer of 24. And then you'll see these are new directory panels for electrical panels. And these are really the directory where, like, if you have your fuse box at home, you go in there and there's something written like, okay, this one goes to the stove, this one goes to the air conditioner. That's what these are. Okay? And then panel cover modifications and filler plates required to conceal busing and hardware. Just some cover plates that we have to put in. So those will be done by December. We're working on those now, but they'll be done by December. I just put December of 23 on there. Okay? So that's kind of how I've structured this. I'm going to go through each building here. I'm going to go a little bit quicker, but I'll go through these buildings so you can see at least where we're at. And then I have a summary, too, of all the projects, okay? So that's Balmoral. Here's Crete. Crete had 33 items listed. We've completed 23 of those. And again, you'll see a lot of those. You'll see some walls that still need to be done, some code-compliant doors that we won't be able to do until next summer, all right? So again, you'll just kind of see that. At CSK, we have 11 of 14 projects done. Again, there's just 3 here. So again, some missing handrails that we're going to have to do next summer. Also some ramps that we have to do. This is some concrete work. So coming out of classrooms, there's a step down and it needs to be ramped for ADA requirements. So those type of things. And then again, some electrical panels. At Monee Elementary, which is one of the current ones, 4 of 6 projects have been completed. We have some door closers that we have to replace by December and some concrete work that we also need to do there. At Talala, we have 1 project that still needs to be done, and that's the electrical panel directories. So that'll be done by December. Our ELC, which is our current building, we have 2 projects that still need to be done. Again, panel directories and then putting a lock on one of the electrical panels. At our middle school, we haven't tackled any of those projects yet, but again, what you'll see is you'll see a list of projects here that still need to be done. Most are really minor. There's really not a lot of major things, but some we do have to wait for the summer to do. And then this is the high school. 13 of 29 have been completed there, about 45%. And again, you'll see some of the things that need to be done there. Some door edge hardware, stage curtain that's flame proof, so we're going to have to buy some new curtains for the stage, and some other things there. So from a summary standpoint, what you'll see is 88 out of 132 projects have been completed so far. You'll see the breakdown here, about 67%. I would say by the end of December, we're probably going to be at the 80, 85%, and then we'll finish off the rest of them next summer. I'm going to stop there. Anyone have any questions about that part of it, about the projects at all? I think the good news I will share with the board is the fact that we have done a lot of the major projects that were in the life safety, like the piping, the water pipes, and all those type of things that had to be replaced, and so those have been done. So that's the good news in that we've tackled that first. I think a lot of these are minor things that need to be done, but we'll get them done.
Yeah, and I agree with you, Ken. Those are those big guns are completed, and that says volumes. And I think all the rest of the open items are very workable and very durable to be completed by 2024. Thank you for that clarification, because I had stuck in my mind as 2023 been the end date, but the way ISB come in and
I had the same thing, Mr. Brown.
Yes.
I thought the same thing, but then I
Yes.
clarified everything, so that'll help.
And-
So,
yeah.
and let me
Sure.
go back on that and say, so what I think the district should do then is complete the projects in summer of '24, then commission your architect to come in September or October of '24 and do the new life safety survey. What will happen is the board will probably not approve that till '25 with ISB, and then you're set. And then you can start a new cycle on that. So that would be my recommendation and what I would do.
Oh, you're going to be around to
I-
hear that
Jason's
recommendation.
just a phone call away.
Oh, okay.
So, okay, so let's talk about the financial summary. And I've kept this high level, and there's a reason I did this, is because a lot of the projects have been intertwined over the year. And again, let me give you an example of that. This year, we're putting a lot of flooring in because we had to remove the asbestos. That flooring was actually in the cosmetic improvement budget for next year. So we've done that. So things are kind of a little bit intertwined, but let me try and clarify from a financial standpoint where we're at. So for, I think, Alex and Jamie, I don't know if you've seen this document, but this is our short-term facility plan. So this back in '21, this is what we started. It was about a 3 or 4 year plan of going through the process of updating our buildings and all of that. All right? Things are separated out on this. You'll see life safety projects here with some HVAC. These are all budget numbers that we had come up with, estimates on things and things we did. So you're going to see the demolition of the 6th grade center here. You're going to see temporary cooling rooms that we put in and some other things, all right? So this is a plan, and I wanted to show the board this because this is our starting point. This is where we started from, and that, okay? All of these projects total $76 million, $76.8 million is where we were at, okay? So these are the proceeds that we use for the short-term facility plan. In December of 2020, we took out working cash bonds, $17.5 million. In November 21, we did debt certificates, and then of this amount, but then in February 22, we took working cash bonds to pay off those debt certificates, and we took another $7.5 million out to give us $52.2 million. And finally, in September of 22, we did another selling of working cash bonds for $14 million. This was earmarked for the addition at the high school, which gave us a total of $83.786 million in proceeds that we had, okay? So that's the revenue that we had. So where do we stand? So here's a breakdown, okay? So what we decided to do with all of that money, with that $83.7 million, is we're keeping $6.1 million in fund balance. We're not touching that. That's staying in fund balance. So I've listed that so we can see that. We took $900,000 and reimbursed ourselves for the Burville property where maintenance is. We purchased that and we reimbursed ourselves with that out of this fund. These are the actual numbers right now, except for this one down here. These are the actual numbers right now of our project. So the demolition came in at 1,378. I'm just going to go back here. It was budgeted at 15,151.7. Again, it came in at this amount. Cooling rooms came in at this amount. This is our LED lighting at the high school. All of those blue boxes, this is what the number is that came in, $24 million, 25. You'll see it all the way down to the high school addition. This one here, this cosmetic improvement, is an estimate on that because we haven't started any of those yet. And this is our budget. So it gave us expenditures of $83.5 million. So in essence, we're looking at about a $270,000 surplus right now of funds that we would have as we move forward, okay? When we look at all the numbers and all that. So you'll see that we had proceeds of $83.7 million. We had expenditures of $83.5, $270,000. Now again, keep in mind, there's $6.1 million that I'm keeping in the bank that I've included in expenditures. That's staying in fund balance. In that. Okay?
So Ken, I think in all the projects, we had about a 10% contingency cushion. So have we eaten into the contingency cushion?
We have. A lot of those we have. Some we didn't, some we did. And that's so, that's why I wanted to kind of give a high level here, because there is some that we had to eat into. But there's some that we didn't have to eat into.
Okay.
So it just kind of, it kind of balances itself out all around and all that stuff too. I would say right now, you're looking at, you have contingencies of about $270,000 that you haven't used yet. Because if we budgeted right now. So that's kind of where we're
But
at.
going back to when we borrowed the original working cash, did we intend on keeping 6.1 million of that in working cash at the end of these projects? I can't recall.
The intent was to keep the $6.1 million in working cash in fund balance.
To keep the
So
fund balance.
So we could keep it our 50%.
So we can keep it our 50%
Okay.
so that our
Yeah.
financial rating will
Okay.
stay up. So the plan is not to spend
So that's
that.
just not surplus that
No.
that was part of the plan to begin with.
That was part of the plan to begin with.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So out of the 83.7 million, there is a percentage of that is your 10%. How much of that is left over if we didn't use all of it?
Well, again, right now, I mean, you're really looking at this 270,000, but again, you've got some projects that still aren't done here. Like these two still aren't done, and we're still working on these here, so there still might be some
So
additional
did any of the
funds.
gold and the purple go over budget?
Some of these went over budget. So like when we went into Crete and all of that stuff, some of this stuff went over budget. When we found more asbestos and all of that. So some of it we had to go into and tap into some of those contingencies.
Some of the concerns is the cosmetic improvements we didn't do this summer in this building in Talala is because it was over budget.
Yes.
So are we going to be able to still do that?
We'll be able to do some of those. Again, that's why this is helping me, because now I know that I've got at least 10.2, which is the original amount. So now when I sit down with the architect, I can see what we want to prioritize first. Now again, the good news is in this 10.2, I had flooring, but I'm spending it up here already.
So that's okay. So that's part of it. Just so we understand, the 8.3 million in contingency isn't all spent. It's just already spent a little earlier than the 2024
Some is
summer.
spent a little bit earlier, some
Which,
is,
yeah. So just so we're on the same.
Yeah,
page.
and that's why I debated how to present this. To be real honest with you, I didn't want to
Because
get
it's
into
still
every
confusing.
project. Yeah, it is.
You're right.
And that, because I look at it as a whole.
Yes.
Because they're working cash bonds, I can look at it as a whole because they're all one bond. So I think that's the way you kind of had to look at it. Again, the demo of the 6th grade center came in $200,000 cheaper. Well, I can actually kind of, I don't like doing this, but I'll just say this. If I have to go over in a project so they find more asbestos, $100,000, well, I know off the top of my head I got $200,000,
Right.
and I don't need to tap into any
And
more
those are
money.
things that have to be done.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
we don't have an option.
Right, right.
The high school edition is probably what 65% in its area.
Mm-hmm.
So is the budget online
We're on
for
budget
50
right
million?
now. Yes, we
So
are on
we're
budget
there
right now.
within
Yeah, we're
our-
there. We're on budget right now. We've had to tap into some contingency for some things and all that stuff, but we're on budget there. Yes, yes.
So have we conquered, in your opinion, all of our supply chain issues, big issues now? Have we conquered that? Do we still have some lingering supply chain issues that could get us in trouble?
I don't know, I'm going to ask Jason in a second about one supply issue, but I do know that we're still waiting on electrical for the high school. The 480 panel?
A 480 panel?
The 480 panel we're waiting on. Have you heard anything about the chillers?
Still September 1st.
Okay, September 1st on the chillers.
Still look good.
Okay, and those are the chillers, excuse me, for Crete, Balmoral, and CSK. Yes. Okay. So those are the big supply issues right now. On the high school, Mr. Brown, the substantial completion date has been pushed to November 15th instead of October 15th because of this 480 panel and that. Because the reason they need to get this 480 panel in is they have to, because your floor in a gymnasium is a wood floor, they have to condition the building and the wood before they put that down. So this 480 panel is crucial to getting that done and getting the building powered up, actually. We have actually a meeting, I think tomorrow or Thursday, to have a discussion about, okay, if this panel doesn't come, what's our alternate to power that building up so that we can condition the wood and the floor so we can get this thing completed on time.
That's why we got lucky in the concrete pour.
Yes, because of the weather. Yes. Yep.
Who's the manufacturer? Is it Siemens or GE? Okay. Yeah, I'm just looking if you go parallel path on, you have a lot of manufacturers out there make 480 panels, and
Sure.
If there's something needs to come from overseas or whatever. But I'm sure you guys looking at that.
Yeah,
Just
I'm not
parallel
sure.
path. So I just would definitely highly recommend either, Siemens is the panel of choice. You go maybe to Westinghouse or
Sure.
Another vendor.
Sure. We
Because-
can find out.
All right.
Any other questions on the financial side of this then?
No, and just reiterate the fund balance, that's only dealing with the project, right? That's not our overall.
No, that's just with this. That's not our overall.
No, because you probably
That's
look to
not our
have,
overall fund balance
30,
at all.
$40 million in
Yeah,
our fund
yeah,
balance,
we're-
okay.
Yeah,
And you
this is
said
just part of that.
50%, then you mean 25%? I heard you say 50%.
Well, our goal is to try and have 50% cash on hand is what our goal is for a fund balance, yes. 6 months. Yeah. Board policy is 25%.
Right,
Yes.
right, and the 6 months is 180 days, that's for cash on hand
Cash
to get
on
us
hand.
through the
Yes.
the bad days, to
Yes.
get our financial profile of 4.
Right.
To have 6 months at 180 days,
Yep.
okay. All righty.
Okay.
But this is really good, Ken. This is very
Thank you.
informative. And I
Thank
do
you.
ask if you can get Alex and Jamie that the actual book that you had given us.
This one?
That, exactly.
Yeah, I
If you
can
could get
share
him a
that.
copy,
Yep, I can
that's
share
good
that. Yep.
information to
I
have
sure can.
readily available that they can refer
can.
back to.
Yep.
Okay.
The last thing I want to talk about is cybersecurity. One thing I want to mention about facilities too, just to make the board aware, also is that the scoreboard is being installed as we speak. So-
And he's not here to.
Yeah, I know, he's not here. But we can remind him of that, so the scoreboard is getting installed. Cybersecurity. I've asked Eric to come here today, but I want to preface this a little bit. We're not going to talk about a lot of it, and we're not going to share a lot, because we don't want out in public or on YouTube what we're doing to protect ourselves. It's like, giving the prisoner the keys to the cell. All right, here you go. So I've asked Eric to come just to kind of give an overview of what we do for cybersecurity. And then if you have any questions, for sure, Eric is here to answer. But I just wanted to prep you that we're not going to be just giving a lot of detail on this, that's all. So Eric, I'm going to turn it over to you. I think that one works.
Board,
Hey, Eric.
hi. It's been a while since I've seen you, so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
welcome.
Eric Bertram, Director of Technology. In, I believe it was June of 22 last year, Dr. Kara and Ken tasked the IT department with the goal of increasing our cybersecurity over the course of FY23. And to do that, we took a look at our back-end systems, our internal systems, our external systems, and our end users. As far as our back-end systems go, we have a next-generation firewall. Our prior network administrator was very highly certified, set us up really well as far as outside penetration, that kind of thing. And Don has continued to do great work on those things. So our back end is really, really solid. We're fully SIPA compliant, the Child Internet Protection Act. And we have AI-based mail filters and internet filters as well. The mail filters on the student end are also backed up by real people that look at potential emergency situations found in the email. Where we found we were lacking was actually with end user security. So, for example, teachers or just end users in general clicking on links that came to them through the email without scrutinizing that. And so that was really more of an education piece that we had to roll into. So over the last year, we've been sending out monthly trainings, the little 4-minute cartoons with quizzes at the end that have really, I think, moved us forward in the end user security. We have implemented complex passwords, and in the next month or so after school starts, we're going to be going to multi-factor authentication, which is just like when you log into your bank or Facebook or something else, and it wants you to authenticate that it's really you. We're moving to that. We're trying to find the way that it's least intrusive for teachers last minute trying to do a lesson plan so they don't have to go through 5 minutes of stuff to get logged in. So we'll be implementing that in the next month. Over the last year, we also did an internal phishing attack. So we sent, the only people that knew about this were myself, Ken, and Dr. Kara, and Ken and Dr. Kara did not know when it was coming. It was a great company. They sent out over 100 different emails to the staff, so no more than 7 or 8 people in the district got the same email. Very convincing looking. We were trying to see who would click on a link, who would open the email, that kind of thing. And we did have a few more people opening and clicking than we would like. So there was an education piece there. I'm happy to report that Dr. Kara and Ken did pass. So Dr. Kara sent the email to me right away, said, this doesn't look right.
Great job.
But our final big push for cybersecurity is going to be the end user education piece and multi-factor authentication. And with that, we feel that we have a really quite secure environment, especially given the budget and the school district. So, but that's kind of a high-level overview. As Ken mentioned, we don't want to get too into the weeds with this and give away everything we're doing, but on the back end, we're very well positioned. So,
Okay.
Is there any questions? Yeah.
Yeah, I think I brought this up in July because I'd seen the article about, I think the Minneapolis School District had a ransomware and they chose not to pay the ransom, and then a lot of data was spilled out into the community.
We are prepared for
And
such an
so,
eventuality.
so thank you for addressing kind of the back end, the front end, and all the things you're doing there. The one thing that, though, on that article was just, is there any review underway of what data, do we hold any data that's kind of extraneous, not outside of our mission as a school district in our data files that, that was one of the conclusions there, is they had a lot of data that really they didn't need, but then was damaging to them when it was hacked. So
Right. So, again, without getting too deep
Yeah.
into that, our school management system, we use Skyward. The way that it's backed up would help prevent that sort of issue. As far as extraneous data, we sort of abide by the board policy as far as data retention.
okay.
This year is the first year that we're letting go of old student email and student drives. So once the students have graduated and left, we do not retain their information anymore. But due to state law and board policy, we do retain all employees' email, drive contents, that kind of thing. Extraneous data, that would be what we still hold in our student management system or school management system. And I can't speak to what would be extraneous there.
Yeah, okay.
That's not really my decision to make. I'll keep your data.
Yeah.
You just decide what you want me to keep.
Right,
So,
right.
Right, yeah. But,
I think the one thing too that I just want to mention about the data is Most of our data is not stored on site.
No.
So for Skyward, it's stored at a third party offsite. I'm not going to mention it, but it's a third party offsite, which is where a lot of staff student records is in Skyward. That's what we use. So that's all offsite, very secure. The company that does it is
Redundant backups.
Yeah, redundant backup, all of that stuff. The other big system we use is Frontline, and again, offsite, we don't have that here. So, which is what we all prefer, when we're looking at that. So for the most part, I would say 99% of our data is offsite. It's not even on
Okay.
servers here. Okay.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Anything else? Yeah, all right.
Okay. I'm done.
Thank you, Ken and
You bet.
Eric. Very informative data that you present to us. Any questions from the board members? Comments? Any further comments or questions? Thank you. And then, again, thank Ken for that. That was a tremendous presentation, giving us an update. And just to let some of the new board members know that we have had life safety issues that have been kind of lingering on for not just years, but decades. So I think you'll be pleased that things are happening on your shift, that we will come to closure on these things. And at the end of the day, our schools will be safe. We would have addressed all the life safety issues that, again, I never thought it'd happen in my lifetime, but it has happened. Okay, really, that's how when I saw, and I'm not pointing the fingers and no previous board members or boards, anything like that. But at the end of the day, thank all my colleagues for working together, getting the ball rolling on this, and getting things to completion, all the hard work our superintendent and her staff has done to make this happen. And I just want to remind you now, I noticed up there on Ken's presentation that not only did he have life safety, he had some small components of renovation. Yeah, so we still have some challenges ahead of us. We still have things that need to be completed throughout our district, such as parking lot repairs, roofs, windows possibly. So, we only had a certain chunk of money. We had to pick and choose our battles and address the life safety issues. And Ken have done a good job with Dr. Coglandy's leadership and making the most and making our buildings look good with what we have. So continue doing what you're doing, Ken, and you're not going to leave until everything is completed. All right. Thank you so much. No further questions on any topics from our business manager. And thank you, Eric, for, I heard some good things from security there, that the company that I work for utilized some of those same defenses that you put together, and that's why I knew you was on the mark. You guys on the mark here. So, all right, good job again. All right. Before we go for motion to approve the consent agenda, do we have anything we need to pull out? Anybody want to pull anything out to be voted separately? If not, before I have Dr. Coglandy speak, I would like a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Someone moved by Nelson.
Seconded.
Is that Alex? Yes. Second by Alex. Okay, Soup, you're up.
Okay, under Superintendent, item 1, approve Press Plus issue 112 updates. Item 2, approve superintendent goals for 23-24 school year. Item 3, approve fireworks at Crete Monee High School. Under business, number 1, approve Board of Education financial report. Item 2, approve a final payment of $151,939.97 to R.L. Soho for the work at ELC and Talala Elementaries. Item 3, approve final payment of $187,372.82, again at R.L. Soho for the Balmoral Elementary. Item 4, approve a final payment of $107,185.99 to R.L. Soho for the work at Crete Elementary. Item 5, approve a final payment of $183,011.66 to R.L. Soho for the work at CSK. Item 6, approve a payment of $1.3 $1,393,729.57 to CCC Holdings, Inc. for work completed at Crete Monee High School. Item 7, approve payment of $819,946.08 to R.L. Soho for the work at CSK. Item 8, approve a payment of $1,855,301.66 to R.L. Soho for work at Crete Elementary. Item 9, approve a payment of $1,374,210.52 at R.L. Soho for work at Balmoral Elementary. Item 10, approve a payment of $751,488.57 to R.L. Soho for the work at Talala. Underneath personnel report, for approving personnel would be to approve certified staff employment resignation, intent to retire, and educational support staff employment, leave of absence, intent to retire, reassignment, and resignation.
Thank you, Dr. Denise. Do we have any comments or any further discussion on the consent agenda?
I'll just say that I'm glad to see that we've got some final payments in there.
Yeah, that was nice, right? Tired of reading them.
We look like we captured 4 there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, any other questions? I do ask if there's any other questions from the board members regarding this matter. So Ken, regarding the final payments, so basically they are saying that they have completed all work, right?
They
So-
have, yes, and so all the
Okay.
punch list items have been completed.
Punch
and that-
list,
yes,
that's
so
where I
all
was
that's been
going
done.
to.
Yep,
Okay, so before we relinquish any funds, we have ensured that the punch
Yes.
list has been completed.
yes.
Great job. And kudos out to the contractors. Okay.
Well, it's
Give them-
taken a little while, a little longer than I'd like.
That's all right.
That's okay.
We moving forward
Yeah.
and just let them know the board appreciate their hard work. Okay, if there's no further questions or comments, Madam Secretary, roll call, please.
Okay, Ms. Sight Stumbris,
Aye.
Mr. Sawalish,
Aye.
Roop is an aye. Mr. Gallegos,
Aye.
Mr. Albrecht,
Aye.
Dr. Hall, President Brown.
Aye. Motion carried. I'd like a motion to approve an action report, item number 8A Alpha, on the business, approve the revised purchase agreement to buy a property at 690 West Exchange Street in Crete, Illinois.
So moved.
Moved by Alex,
Second.
second by Nelson. You need to say any further thing on that, Ken?
No, I mentioned last week during the committee of the whole that the only change on this agreement is the dates in here, to move it to close the property by August 31st. There are no changes to the financial matters in there or anything else in the agreement.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, any further questions, comments by our board members?
Ken, on the funds to purchase this, will we do any kind of reimbursement arrangement if we issue bonds in the future?
We can. So all that would need to be done is we would put a resolution before the board. I can do that prior to doing the bonds if you want to do that, and then it can be the board's decision on whether you want to reimburse them or not. But we can do that. If
Do we have to do it before the closing, or?
No, you don't have to do it before the closing. You
Okay.
can do it afterwards.
I mean, it would just give us the option if we do issue bonds, what we have about 18 months to reimburse ourselves or something?
Yeah, I think it is something like that. So I can
I
put
mean,
something together
I don't
for the
think we have any
September
plans to
meeting.
issue bonds, but why not
Yeah.
give ourselves that option?
I can do that for the September meeting. I have the resolution
Okay,
done.
why don't we,
Yeah,
that makes sense to other board
Yeah,
members.
I'm in agreement.
okay.
Okay.
We got a consensus on that, board members? To pay ourselves back for this purchase? Okay, thank you, Ken, thank you, Nelson, for that comment. There's no further comment on item number 8A. I'd like a roll call, Madam Secretary, please.
All right, Mr. Gallegos,
Aye.
Roop is an aye. Ms. Sight Stumbris,
Aye.
Mr. Sawalish,
Aye.
Mr. Albrecht,
Aye.
Dr. Hall, President Brown.
Aye. Motion carried. Next up, line item number 8, under the action report, B, Bravo, Personnel and Culture. Approval of guest rate changes. I don't know if anybody wants, Administrator. Let me just go ahead and get a motion out there. Can I have a motion?
So moved.
Moved by Jamie,
Second.
second by Alex. Anybody want to speak on that, Dr. Carroll, or we pretty much got a handle on that? No further discussion
So
by Ken?
is this in response to that public comment?
It's kind of, I don't know if it's a direct response. Yeah.
Okay. No, this was just bringing back, we discussed this last week, so this is just bringing these rates for approval in regards to the public comment. When I had asked for the current guest rates, that one was left off, so I will be bringing that to you at the next meeting.
Yeah, it's
For the
somewhat like,
paraprofessionals.
indirect. There's, has some validity with this and the public comment, but I think Dr. Coglonese, you said you did respond to that public comment already?
Dr. M did reach out
Oh,
to this
Dr. M.
individual twice.
Twice,
To
oh,
try to connect, and she was not yet.
responded
not
back.
connected yet.
Okay, but you have reached out. Okay, great. All right, we got a motion. It has been moved. Any further questions or comments on this particular line item, number 8B, Bravo? If not, Madam Secretary, roll call, please.
All right, Mr. Albrecht,
Aye.
Mr. Gallegos,
Aye.
Roop is an aye. Mr. Sawalish,
Aye.
Ms. Sight Stumbras,
Aye.
Dr. Hall, President Brown.
Aye, motion passed. Okay, do we have any old business? Hearing none, do we have any new business? Is that old or new?
I guess new, but it's recurring, so,
Okay,
so I'll call it new business because it's related to this year's audit. I just wanted to update everyone. We're on week 2 of our final field work for our audit, which is about 2 months sooner than we're used to. We're working with new auditors. Things have been going very well. We spoke yesterday. They were on site and they just said that so far there's no concerns. We're on pace and we should be done by the October 15th deadline this year, depending on when they're able to present to the board. So definitely in a better spot than we have been the past few years. So just wanted to update everyone on that.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
And we got something in the mail that I don't remember ever getting before, have we?
oh, you guys, so every board member got something from the auditing team?
You can usually contact the officers.
Oh,
Yeah, so
okay.
you did get something, Cheryl?
Mhm.
Anybody else? Did you guys reply?
Yeah, it took me 2 times, but I did send
Oh,
it back
well,
finally.
it's same here. It's
Yeah.
a second notice.
Right,
And then
right.
when it came the second time, I'm like, okay, it's for real.
Oh, I did not know that. I thought it only came to me, so.
I was vice president last time. I don't ever
I don't
recall
recall
getting
No,
getting
I think this is
Right.
new auditor and maybe a little bit of a new practice, but
I
our
did-
old auditor would call me and set up
Uh-huh.
a time, just find out if I had any concerns about controls or anything like that, so.
We actually got a form, so you got a document too?
Guess I did.
I told Brian earlier today, I said, I'm not gonna get a third notice, okay? So I thought I was gonna ask any of you that you have anything you wanna share with me, and I will compile it and send it over to the person who's requesting it, but it sounds like each and every one of you got
Yeah.
a questionnaire or something too.
Right.
Okay, so everybody plan to get it back if they have it not, best they could answer it, and just NA if you don't have anything to share. Okay, so just, don't get that third notice, that's not good. So, okay, thanks, Brian. Everything, it's good to hear everything is going well. And again, I knew as a township, they sent it to all the members, the audited team sent us, each member, a questionnaire if they saw anything that shouldn't be right or anything went well. So, okay, great. If you can get that in, again, as soon as possible, greatly appreciate it. Everything. All the accolades for Dr. Hall. Everything about a scoreboard and football stadium and the whole 9 yards.
Voted on new fields and.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, we needed one vote.
I was gonna say, don't tell me about one vote.
We were one vote short. I was looking for you in there, but you see, Doc, we need to talk. All right, if there's no further, I don't think we have a reason for closed session. Okay. If not, all in one voice, can I have a motion to adjourn? All said by saying aye?
Aye.
Or do we need a motion?
I think we first need a motion.
We need a
second,
motion.
then an aye.
We need a motion. Motion, Dr.
Second.
Hall.
Second.
Second, Alex. All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays?
Nay.
We'll write that down. Write that down. You want us to? We are adjourned. Thank you, public, for joining. Be safe out there. Enjoy the rest of your summer. God bless.